Okay, so let's be honest. Most people hate planning out content. If you've ever even planned out content, most people are just kind of just throwing stuff at the wall, posting whenever they feel like it, and hoping something sticks. You probably know that you need a strategy, but every time you try to make one, it feels more like homework that you just never finish. You stare at a blank content calendar trying to figure out what to fill it in with, or just try posting every day and then just run out of steam, run out of ideas, or burn yourself out in the process. Or you just try and copy what some guy on TikTok said and after a week end up falling off. Sound familiar? I know. It was me too. So today I'm gonna show you how to build a content strategy that actually works without making you feel like you're a full-time social media manager or you have a shit ton of homework that you don't want to do. So the problem with most advice is that it's broken or meant for somebody they're not even in the same space as you. They don't have the same time as you. They don't have the same energy as you. They're not working the same job. They don't have the same family. It's built for somebody who isn't you. They want you to create a super complicated content calendar, or they want you to do what worked for themselves or somebody else, but they don't have your same life. Or they have you trying to plan out everything perfectly instead of focusing on making progress. And that usually results in inconsistency, feeling burnt out, or feeling like you're just always behind and struggling to keep up. But here's the thing that most people miss. A strategy isn't about planning out every single detail. It's about building a system that fits your life and that's going to keep you moving and keep you making progress. So here's the kind of flow, the framework I give my clients that want to get results, but they hate planning or they just don't have time for it. This is how you implement a system that's made for you. So first thing you need to do is pick a core goal, something that you're working towards. What is your brand about? What are you building towards? What's the purpose of the content that you're putting out? What's the number one outcome that you want your content to get you? Is it to get more followers? Is it to grow an email list? Is it to join a challenge? Or is it just to like get your brand out there and build up that authority or that awareness about you? You don't need to do all of them. You don't need to do everything. You just need to pick one main goal that you're going to focus on so that your content is geared to get you those results. That makes sense? Second thing you need to focus on, their signature content. Not everybody wants to dance on TikTok. Not everybody likes talking on camera. You need to pick something that's going to fit you and that you're going to enjoy doing. If you're a talker, if you prefer to be on camera, focus on Reels, focus on TikTok. If you're a writer, focus on Threads, focus on Twitter, maybe LinkedIn. If you're more of a teacher or a deep diver, focus on YouTube or a podcast. Play to your strengths. Play to what works for you. Don't try to do what works for everybody else. Do what works for you and what makes sense for you. That makes sense? Third thing you need to do is you want to focus on your anchor themes. Ideally, you want 2 to 3 of these. And these are going to be like your main topics or the main lanes that you focus on. You may branch out. You may talk about your life. You may talk about your family. You may talk about your day-to-day or your gym routine. Those are all cool, but you should have 2 to 3, maybe 4. You don't want to overwhelm yourself, but a couple of main topics that all your content is kind of centered around. You feel me? Now, this might look different for different brands. If you're an entrepreneur looking for people to buy your product or buy your service, these may be things related to those. If you are a UGC creator, if you're somebody who looks for brand deals, you might focus on story times or get ready with me's or outfit hauls. These are going to look different for everybody, but you should have 2 to 3 lanes that you consistently come back to and that you're locked in with. This gives you something to consistently show up with day after day, week after week. You feel me? Again, you want to play to your strengths and play to the strengths of the platform. If you're on TikTok, you aren't going to be doing super long posts every week because it's not in alignment. You may like writing, but super long post isn't going to make sense for TikTok. You feel me? Play to your themes, play to your strengths in all categories. And then the last step, the last thing you want to focus on is batching your ideas. This doesn't mean creating a 30-day content calendar. It doesn't mean trying to plan out what you're going to post for the next 10 weeks. Instead, just focus on getting 5 ideas that you want to get done. 5 videos that you want to shoot this week so that you can get those locked in and knocked out. We get so focused on what we think we have to do for the future when instead we just need to focus on what we're doing right now and how we're going to show up consistently. When you do this, when you focus on a couple ideas at a time and you know this is the platform I'm showing up on, this is why I'm doing it, and these are my lanes, this is what I'm locked in for, it becomes a lot easier to like brainstorm those ideas and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. These are this the content I'm shooting this week. I'm locked in. That's it. I don't need to focus on anything else. Just this. It's way less stressful and it keeps you consistent. Okay. You don't need a 40-day, 60-day whole plan. You just need something that's going to allow you to execute and keep you moving. So if you're a coach working a 9 to 5, you might focus on reels as your main format or threads as your main platform. And you're going to focus on education and motivation and testimonials from past clients. And those just become the 3 things that you focus on mainly. You could post stuff here and there that isn't in those categories, that doesn't fall into those lanes, but your main focus, your main content, the ideas that you keep coming back to, the stuff that you batch out, it's going to fall into those lanes. And it's going to be reels because you know this is where I'm showing up. Then every week, every Monday or every Sunday night, whenever it is, you write out 5 ideas, 10 ideas. You're like, okay, I want to knock these ones out. I want to work on if you're a creator and you focus on skits or doing trending sounds, at the beginning of the week, you're going to write down 10 ideas that you want to try and get done for the week. You're going to go through and knock those out, either like a Monday, Tuesday, whenever you have time. You're going to batch out and get as many done as you can so that you can show up consistently. You see how much lighter and easier that feels versus trying to have a fully flushed out 30-day calendar with this hooks and it has to do this and this and this. You don't need all that, okay? Something simple and easy to follow for you, all right? That's what a lot of this is about. It's not about doing everything or doing what works for everybody else. It's about figuring out your strengths, what works for you, your brand, your goals, and your audience, and locking in on that and showing up consistently. You feel me? Now, if you're somebody who's been struggling with showing up consistently, if you have an issue with creating content, you don't know what you're doing for your brand, you don't know what you're doing for your audience, if you're still a little unclear on all of this, I've created a community that you can join, okay? There's a link to it down below. You can try it for 10 days, absolutely free. After that, it's only $25 a month. But it gives you a place to show up and congregate and talk to people who might be going through what you're going through. Get feedback from me. I have weekly Q&As that you can hop into. I have places you can post so you can get feedback on your content or get other people to report and feedback from other people. I have access to my courses, different things I put together, different videos, okay? I want this to be something that helps people and gives people a place to go and feel like they can get help or get the support that they've been looking for. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you hit the link, hit the follow, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and I'll see you on the next one, all right?